Today we're going to spend a couple of minutes and show you how to do the fuse replacement on your Rogers EHF series amplifiers. Pretty straightforward, and the replacement process is identical for an EHF-100 or an EHF-200, whichever you have. The fuse values are different, but the replacement process is identical. The first step in the process is you want to make sure that your power cord has been disconnected, completely disconnected from the amplifier. And you want to wait several minutes, we recommend 5 minutes, before you attempt any of this replacement process. That gives the power supply capacitors a chance to discharge and make the amplifier completely safe to service. So let's do the easiest fuse first. The first fuse we're going to replace is the high voltage fuse. That's this fuse right here that it's a marked fuse on the fuse holder, and it kind of protrudes from the chassis. And the replacement process is pretty straightforward. You take that knob on the end, you push in firmly and turn it left counterclockwise about a quarter turn, and the spring tension will push that fuse out. At that point, your fuse can just be removed from the cover and replaced. And that is what's called a 3AG style fuse holder. It is a special fuse. It's a slow blow 1 amp fuse. So you were shipped replacement fuses with your amplifier, but if for some reason you misplaced them, you can contact the factory and we can supply you with replacements, or you can get replacements. But remember, it's a 1 amp fuse, don't go over that value, and it is a slow blow version of that fuse. Now to install the fuse, you just reverse the process. You insert the fuse into the fuse holder cap, you push it in, you place it in the fuse holder, you find the detent, you push in and turn clockwise a quarter turn and confirm that it's in there firmly, and it's all done. So that's the high voltage fuse. The next fuse is the one people most often miss, and that's the main power fuse, or the mains fuse. And that's actually located in the power connector. So if you look down in the power connector, and this is explained in your manual, but if you look down in the power connector, you'll see there's a little white disc in there with a slot in it, and that's where the fuse is located. You need a small flat-bladed screwdriver, and you take that small flat-bladed screwdriver and you insert it into that white disc with the slot, and you just turn it slightly counterclockwise, about a quarter turn, and that cap will come loose. And again, the spring tension will push it out. You kind of give it a little help with the screwdriver, and that fuse comes right out. And again, the process is similar. The fuse cap pulls off of the fuse, and then you have your replacement fuse. This is a non-standard fuse. It is called a GMA style fuse, and it's rated at 4 amps for the EHF-100 and 10 amps for the EHF-200. The EHF-200's got a much larger power supply. So again, we can ship you these replacements from the factory if you've misplaced or used the ones that were shipped with your amplifier, or you can get replacements, but you want to make sure you get a GMA 4 amp style fuse. And again, the replacement process is just the reverse. You place the fuse in the cap, you insert it in that little detent in the power connector, you put your screwdriver in, you push against the spring, you rotate it quarter turn clockwise, and that's in. That's replaced. And you just want to check to make sure it's in there solidly. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. That's how you replace the fuses in your EHF series amplifier.